So, yesterday my sister and I found this amazing first edition Reader's Digest Great World Atlas from 1961. It's very interesting, with a very unusual map of Australia at the start of the book. What I find very unusual is the first paragraph. Paradise is somewhere in the Far East. Jerusalem is in the centre of all nations and countries, and the world itself is a flat disc surrounded by oceans of water. Rather interesting.
I'd like to ask everyone to join me, and let's take a moment of silence for the globe. Rest in pieces.
1482, this is when they came up with this idea. We are on that thing, it's a ball. Hey, we should go to the North and the South Pole. We didn't do it yet, it's a fucking ball. Hey, nobody's even jumped up high enough to see if it is a ball. Can't do that, we don't have planes yet, it's a ball. You know what, we adopted this whole model like 400 or 500 years before the airplane. 400 years before the airplane, pretty much. So it was like beginning 1900s.
So can you guys do me a favor and tell me why there's absolutely zero real videos or pictures of rockets in space? Every single picture or every single video you see of a rocket actually in space is CGI. It's computer generated. So if rockets are real, then why don't we see any of them? And supposedly this is India landing on the moon. It looks like a 2DS. Of course, I'm being sarcastic. I know for a fact that's real footage of India landing on the moon, and I know for a fact that NASA would never fake anything. Even though there's no real pictures of satellites in space. They're all computer generated. Now, we have to do this because you can't take a picture in the empty vacuum of space, so you need to make computer generations. So they're not lying to us, it's just that they can't take real footage. So this is how many satellites are orbiting our Earth, even though we can't see any of them. They're just so high-tech that we're not able to see them. I mean, thankfully, right? Look how unattractive these things are. Because they're fake. I'm just kidding, I'm being sarcastic, don't ban me.
This is like really how the earth looks. The earth is a circle, Isaiah chapter 40, verse 22, made with a compass, Proverbs chapter 8, verse 27, laid upon a face, Genesis chapter 1, verse 2, which is bounded, Job chapter 26, verse 10, as its ends, Job chapter 38, verse 13. It does not move, Psalm chapter 93, verse 1, and is covered by a dome, Genesis chapter 1, verses 6 through 8, containing the sun, moon, and stars, Genesis chapter 1, verses 14 through 18, which are revolving, Enoch chapter 75, verses 3 through 4, above and below is water, Genesis chapter 1, verses 6 through 8.
So here's the device here. This is a replica of an astrolabe. And as you can see, it's made up of brass. It's got all kinds of dials and settings, and you can identify dates, you can identify constellation names, and there's even settings on the back that are used for a variety of other purposes. So the first part is called the mater, and that means mother, and it's the case that holds everything in place. The spinny part is called the reet, and it holds the positions of the sun, moon, and planets. Okay. Inside the mater is another part which is called the plate. And that actually, there's several plates in most astrolabes, and they correspond to the positions of the stuff in the local sky. This will become clear in a second. And so, how do you get the sky, the three-dimensional sky that completely surrounds us, onto a flat, portable device? And that's used for map making. It's a tough challenge, isn't it? And it actually is born from some mathematics that was invented in about 150 BC by a guy named Hipparchus. And the idea is you imagine the sky as a large celestial sphere completely enveloping you. And then you imagine a flat surface on the bottom of the sphere, a little bit below it, that projects or receives stuff from the sky. And so you project the three-dimensional sphere onto the surface of the device. Okay, this is called stereographic projection and is common in map making, and that's the basic idea. You just imagine projecting everything from the sphere through the point on the bottom onto the flat surface.
They say the Bible isn't a science book, but modern science is still trying to catch up with the Bible. Look at New Jerusalem, for instance, and what it's made out of. The Bible talks about all the jewels that New Jerusalem is made out of, and every single one of them happens to be anisotropic jewels, which are jewels that interact completely differently with pure light. Look at all the vibrant colors. And then your isotropic jewels in pure light look black as coal. You can't even see that. Guess which of these jewels are anisotropic or isotropic? So how did the Bible know what this city needed to be made out of in order to look so vibrant and beautiful at the pearly gates? Well, my friends, that's just science for you. And our scientists are literally just figuring this stuff out. But back in the Bible days, they knew how jewels would react to pure light under microscopes and stuff. And this is light wave science. This is wavelength stuff. How the wavelengths operate through different minerals. Yet way back when, they somehow knew what this would be made out of to be so beautiful. Now you tell me that this isn't the inspired, written word of God.
So can rockets propel in an empty vacuum of space? Is combustion possible? Let's find out. So we're starting with gunpowder, mimicking Earth's atmosphere. Let's see what happens. Oh. Goes off immediately. Okay, makes sense, right? Because we're in a closed atmosphere. That makes a lot of sense. So now this is gunpowder in an empty vacuum. Let's see what happens. No combustion. At all. Literally nothing. Nothing ignited. Nothing happened. Even though he's hitting it with a high-powered laser. Nothing. So rocket fuel. This is rocket candy. Very easily combustible. In an atmosphere, of course. With particles. Let's see what happens with this. Oh yeah. Even had some thrust to it. So this is in Earth's atmosphere. Goes off like cake. Smooth like butter. This is an empty vacuum. Absolutely nothing. Nothing at all. So how is rocket fuel propelling these around in the empty vacuum of space? So can you guys take a wild guess as to what actually happens when you trap an air bubble in a vat of water and pass a sound wave through it? It creates an artificial star. The bubble collapses upon itself and starts producing light. How could this be? How is this possible that we can produce a star from passing sound through water? So that must mean that the stars have to be something completely different than what we're told they are. They can't just be giant balls of gas and fire combusting in the empty vacuum of space. Nothing can combust in the empty vacuum of space. And if you say grateful and loving words into water and then freeze it in time, it actually produces beautiful geometric patterns. But if you freeze water after saying hate or I'm gonna kill you, it actually creates disgusting, distorted patterns. because everything in the universe is light, sound, and frequency. The length of the sound wave produces a different frequency when passing through the light photons. Nikola Tesla knew a lot about this, and he understood that our universe is infinite energy. Do me a favor and just look up cymatics. You can produce stars through passing sound waves through light and water. Of course, I'm making all of this up. Of course, the stars are big balls of gas and fire combusting in outer space when you can't combust anything in the empty vacuum of space. And have you heard of the term as above, so below? Jellyfish communicate through light and sound frequency. That's what bioluminescence is. And fungi communicate to each other through light and sound frequencies. This isn't animated, this isn't made up, this is completely real. They use different resonant tunes to communicate with each other with light. Light, sound, vibration. Wow, that's insane. So the entire universe is made up of light and sound vibrating at a specific frequency.
Is this how they get away with saying the Earth is round? The Earth is round. The Earth is an oblate spheroid. The Earth is an oblate spheroid. I've been looking at oblate spheroids, and look how they have this flat plane in the center. Flat plane in the center. Here's a definition of an oblate spheroid. Dimensional collection of points, flat surface. A three-dimensional collection of points whose cross-sections is a curved surface of the boundary of any three-dimensional solid. In general, a surface is a continuous boundary dividing three-dimensional space into two regions. For example, the surface of a sphere separates the interior from the exterior. A horizontal plane separates the half plane above from the half plane below. Horizontal plane, half plane above, half plane below. Oblate spheroid. Plane in the center. Oblate spheroid. Plane in the center. Oblate spheroid. Plane in the center. Round. Round. Sphere. So all these scientists, when they say Earth is round or an oblate spheroid, you've got this in your mind. When really, they're not even lying to you. It's round and it's an oblate spheroid.
It came in the mail and y'all are opening it with me. Ooh. Smell it. Woo! Here we go.
The Flat Earth map dates back over 1,000 years. This map is credited to being created by a Persian astronomer. His name was Al-Biruni, and he lived between 973 AD to 1048 AD. It's the official map of the United Nations and also the United States Geological Survey. It used to be present in many places before the creation of NASA and the Antarctic Treaty in 1959. Here you see it with Admiral Byrd. This map has been restored by Dmitry from Russia with suggestions of mine, Idialenkar. known by my YouTube channel Flat Earth Banjo, I asked Mitri to include the Bermuda Triangle and Point Nemo, a place deep in the Pacific where NASA buries rockets. Then Robert Tozzi, a professional mapmaker, came along and enhanced the map even more. There are many people now selling this map online, but if you could order it from my online store, I would greatly appreciate it. Visit my online store now and order one of the items. I humbly thank you.